Hi guys, Tim here from South Oz Hobby Hunter. Now today's review is on the Hills EC3000 portable air compressor that was sent to me by Matt Windsor from Airgun Sports Australia. So what do you get in the kit? Well, for a start, you get the manual, you get the compressor, the power cable, the air fill line, the silicone oil, and the crankcase oil. Now the crankcase oil and the silicone oil have color coded tips. So the crankcase is a red tip and the silicone one is a blue tip. This comes in very handy for when you need to fill up or top up your oil reservoirs on the air compressor. When you get the compressor, it normally comes with both the reservoir for the crankcase oil and the silicone oil empty. But Matt tests all the air compressors before he sends them out to his clients. So mine came pre-filled. However, it's pretty simple. The red oil goes into the red capped reservoir and you fill to the red fill line. The synthetic oil with the blue cap goes into the blue fill hole and you fill it to the blue line. So it's pretty self-explanatory and pretty hard to stuff it up. Whilst we're focused here on the compressor, I'll just run down a few points of interest that you might like to know. Down here is a knurled screw and you need to undo that to relieve the pressure in the whip line that's connected to your gun or to your scuba tank. Now when you undo this, the pressure will relieve and air will come out of there. You may get some condensate and that is natural, especially if the weather is hot or it's humid. Once you've finished, just do it up nice and firm. Doesn't have to be over tight. On the top here is an LCD screen and your control wheel. So the center button will give your acknowledgement and you can rotate the scroll wheel left or right to select whatever parameters you want on the compressor. As you can see, it's made of a fairly sturdy construction and laser cut panels that make a very nice fitting. All the welds are in good condition and you have this nice green protective cover that goes over your actual compressor system, the air lines, your filters and your reservoirs. Let's go to the important part of the compressor, how to use it and how to fill up an air gun or an air rifle. So once you plug in your power cable to a power point, on the side here you have a on switch. Once you turn it on, you'll have a software update, how long it's run for, and then the computer will ask you to confirm if the lubricant is okay. You do this by checking the two sight glasses on the front of the compressor where I showed you. To confirm it, press the center button and it says lube check confirmed. Now you need to set your required pressure, or initially you need to set whether you want it in bar, PSI or megapascals. So press the center button and you can scroll PSI, MPa and back to bar. You can also scroll to the left and it just does them in reverse. Once you've selected whatever pressure you want to be set at, I like bar, so you press the bar and it's confirmed. Now scroll back and it will say set required pressure. At the moment it's set at 100 and that is the default setting. Press the center button and now you can use the scroll wheel to increase or decrease the pressure required. So I normally fill my gun to 245, so I'll set that to 245. As you can see there, once I'm happy with that, press the center button to confirm. Now you need to use the scroll wheel to head to the start screen. So start, we're ready and we're set to 245 bar. Now the gun is connected as you would with a normal Forster fitting. I've just put an extra whip on it to make it a little bit easier to fill from. And as you can see on the gauge, it's just below 200 bar. So we're ready to go now. We've got our pressure level set on the compressor and the gun is connected using the Forster fitting. So when we're ready to go, press the start button and the compressor will start. And there we have, it's filled from just under 200 bar to 243 bar in just on 3 minutes. So as you can see, it's a pretty efficient little air compressor. However, it's not designed to work overly hard. So as I said before, you can fill your scuba tanks, but I wouldn't recommend filling it from empty. Just use it to top it up every now and then, just to save yourself a trip to the dive shop. Once you've got your gun filled, or the fill sequence is complete, what you need to do before you disconnect your air line is to bleed the air off of the system. As I said before, this is how you do it, just by undoing that screw valve, and you can hear the air come out. As you can see, there was a little bit of condensate in the air, and that's normal. Once you've bled that off, just screw the screw back up, and you can disconnect your gun. As you can see guys, the compressor is pretty simple to set up and get running. The other good feature that this compressor has is the auto temperature cutout. So as the compressor is running, it gets hot. And the temperature cutout kicks in at 75 degrees centigrade. So once that temperature is reached, the compressor will stop filling. The air cooling fan will continue to run, and this cools down the compressor until the temperature reaches 65 degrees C. And at that point, the compressor will kick back in and continue this filling cycle. If at any stage you want to stop the filling cycle, you can press the center control button on the compressor, and that'll bring up a screen asking you if you want to stop the compressor, and you just select yes. The other thing is, if you do want to fill up a dive tank, I would recommend getting yourself one of these. It is a male to male Forster fitting. And what that does is means you don't have to get an additional adapter for your scuba tank. You just connect your scuba tank whip to your compressor whip using that little adapter. I'll just go over a few of the specs of this compressor. It has a maximum output of 300 bar or 4,350 psi. It weighs about 25 kilos boxed or 55 pound. When running, the decibel rating is about 75 decibels, so it's not too bad. Length is 465 millimeters, height 385 millimeters, and width 235 millimeters. You can get it in 240 volt or 110 volt, depending on which country you're in. So USA, you're going to get the 110, the UK, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, we'll get it in the 240 volt. So guys, that's my rundown of the Hills EC3000 portable air compressor. Now they say it is portable, however you do require the 240 volt or the 110 volt. Now you can run off a little portable generator, as my cousin does, and that's the way that I first experienced this compressor while we were out camping. He brought along his compressor and his generator and ran it off that, and it worked perfectly. So great little compressor, well worth the money. They're not cheap, but you get what you pay for. This is great quality, well built, and it's really well engineered. I like the fact that you can pretty much set and forget it, but I wouldn't recommend just walking out of the room while it's left running. Keep an eye on it. I hope you enjoyed my quick review on the EC3000 compressor from Hills. Coming up soon are a few more ratting videos, as we all love them, and hopefully 1 or 2 feline furies. I'm sure to get a few hate mails from that one. Guys, if you're new to my channel or you haven't subscribed, please do so, because it really does help my channel grow. If you also hit the bell button, it'll give you notifications of any future videos that I post up. So, until then, please stay safe, keep calm, and gently squeeze the trigger.